great animation in Maya, but this isn't really going to serve our purposes for this. So we're going to reuse some of the Unreal ones for this. So first of all, it's a little organized. We can keep our animations in the folder here. And then something I like to do is I like to make a retargeted folder just so I can keep track of like what I've made versus what I've like stolen.
Does the retarget just make a completely new animation?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so this is great because those of you who don't enjoy animating, you don't really have to, because there's a lot of animations out there. You can download them from online. You can get them from the marketplace, and you can just retarget them to your skeleton.
Yeah, for the VR thing that me, Chase, and Jalik did, Chase had to retarget. I think he either had to retarget or just get an animation and put it with the mesh.
Yeah.
But it messed up to where his chin was connected to his sternum.
Right.
So it was just like.
Right, which kind of worked for your horror game.
Yeah, it worked, but it was still a little janky.
Yeah. What do y'all need?
It smells so bad.
What?
It smells so bad.
Oh, you can't take it. It does kind of smell bad.
Do we want to like
open a window? Yeah.
No.
Perfect.
Yeah. What can we do about that?
About to say, do we not have a fan?
Oh, we closed the microwave.
It is closed. Oh.
Oh, that helps a little. Yeah. Do we have a fan? That would just
That's here. I'll look back here.
Just that we do.
Yeah, I seriously doubt we do as well. But I think in here, like, because all the toxin chemicals.
Right. Yeah. There should be a fan in here. There is. Ignore it. Nobody's allergic to popcorn or anything, right?
No, I'm not.
Alright.
I love popcorn.
Alright, so here's the idea. So we're gonna take these and retarget them. So we've got walk forward, and this is really easy. So you go here, you right click and you say retarget animations, and then it opens up all the potential animations that this skeleton has. So you've got to find it in here. So it's walk forward, that. It's also walk in place. So this has a root motion, but that's okay. Alright, so we've got walk forward. So we want to apply it to our new character skeleton. So ignore my bad skinning. Your mesh will be properly skinned. And won't
Is
have
there a
this
reason why
problem.
there's two of them?
What do you mean?
When you applied it, it just made like another.
Yeah, so this is just the viewer. This just is so you can see the animations side by side.
Okay. Why is one faster than the other?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe because this one's taller? But anyway, it doesn't really
Not
matter.
again. Oh my god.
Leave that door open. It smells like ass in here with all that popcorn. Alright. Okay. So, export animations. Export. Alright, so there we go. We've got our animation. Okay, that's pretty easy.
I love the growing just like spike out of his
Yeah,
hand.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's easy enough to fix. Okay, so well, that's pretty easy, right? Compared to what we were dealing with last class. All right, good. So now we got to repeat that. So I need the run forward. And this is just kind of tedious. You just got to select all the same stuff. Do you have a question? Or are you just stretching? Oh, this is pretty much all we need. So we need our idle. Oh, you can do more than one at a time, can't you? Land, ball, loop.
So what happens if the character has like a hair rig or like a tail rig, and that isn't a part of the original?
Basically, that stuff just won't be part of it, so it'll just stay rigid in the targeted animation.
Is there a way to like fix that?
You could export the animation data into Maya, add a layer, hand author your stuff, and yeah, and do that. After this, unplug that microwave and take it in there.
Okay. Hey, understandable. Okay.
Make sure the Keurig doesn't fall.
I know. I'm trying to figure out which one.
I don't think the Keurig's plugged in. I think we can only keep one plugged in at a time.
Take it. Alright, thank you.
Bring it back when you're done with it.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Now it's
the microwave.
hopefully they close their door. Doubt they will.
Hotbox themselves with popcorn.
Yeah.
Look, I saw that other guy come in. Like, I swear to God, I look in his hand and he has popcorn, and I'm like, listen, I love the small popcorn, but not that much.
Too much popcorn.
It also take that was like what, 5 bags? It takes one person to mess up and burn it, and this whole room smells like ass.
I think it does smell like that.
Yeah, it's too late for that. It already smells like
I
that.
like
We're
popcorn.
getting to a point where we just close the door and then like we twist the lock.
Uh-huh.
And then we like, cause I closed the door cause I was like, oh my god, they're kind of being loud. And then they walk in.
Like,
No,
we
I
just
would
said-
lock the door personally, because it's like actively having a class in here is so rude. Because
Yeah.
none of them ask.
Mhm.
It'd be different if they were asking for your permission
It
to
should
hear
be
the.
put out there.
Alright, we're ready for animation.
Alright.
Yeah,
It is what it
Focus,
is.
we're locked in.
I'm
Yes,
here to
you're
make
so bad.
animations, not a babysitter. Alright. Okay, there's 2 ways we could do this. An easy way, where we won't learn much, and a hard way, where we'll learn more. The easy way would be to just duplicate the existing blueprint and just update all the animation references. Right? But we won't learn anything that way. So what I'd rather do is just make a fresh one and just build all the logic ourselves. So, yeah, what do y'all feel?
I mean, might as well for the demo.
Figured out? Proud of you all. Right answer. I was gonna do it that way, no matter what you said, so good job. Okay, so we'll make a new animation blueprint. And you choose the skeleton, create, AVP, test, AVP,
So
whatever.
what are you making right now? Like what's the archive?
It's an animation blueprint
Okay.
file. So it's just like a blueprint, but it also has this ANIM graph. Alright, so, okay, so before we can actually use it though, it doesn't do anything yet. What do we have to do before we can use it? Any guesses?
What was the question?
How do we actually use this animation blueprint that we're creating?
Make sure it's going to the right skeleton.
Yeah, well, so we've got a player pawn. Well, but we need to replace that mesh with our mesh.
You guys
Right.
put our mesh in there?
Yeah. So
You have to replace the skeleton.
yep. So we're gonna go in here, character, content, third person, blueprint. And then, we could go and make our own third person blueprint from scratch, but I'll just override this. So it has this skeletal mesh asset. I'm gonna close this door now. Smells dissipated a little.
Lock it.
Yeah. Alright.
Couldn't you just go to the side and like where's this mesh and just change it that?
Yeah, that's exactly what
Oh,
we're doing.
okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if you'd rather do it like some other. like, yeah, like roundabout.
Yeah, no, we just, boom, did that. So see, now he's got this mesh, but he's just in his T-pose. And if we run the game, we just made a custom player pawn.
I love watching like Gmod horror maps that just have like the T-pose people like charge at you just.
Yup. Alright, so now we need to make this work. Alright, we take our animation blueprint. This is the part that'll make him move, and we apply that here. Okay. Now, what's gonna happen when I run the game?
It'll crash. It's unreal.
Nothing will happen because we don't have anything in this. So let's just prove that we have this hooked up right. Let's take our idle animation and just connect it directly. So real complicated animation blueprint right now, but this is kind of like the hello world of an animation blueprint, right? We've just got one animation and we're just playing it. Oh, and it's not set to loop. Let's open this up and check loop. There's a loop checkbox in here too. There we go. Loop pile. And now he should play that. It's kind of subtle. I don't know if you can tell he's moving. Let's see, he's moving.
He do be moving.
And he keeps moving after the animation finishes. So now what's going to happen when I run around? It's going to be idling.
Constantly, no matter
So
what.
as long as I don't move, everything is working correctly.
And then he goes T-pose.
But, well, no, I'll just keep idling.
Oh.
Because we just don't have any logic, I'm just going to constantly play this. Here, let's make it more obvious, and
God,
let's
what's that
put the
song?
jump animation on. So see, I'll just repeat this over and over.
Wee.
There we go. See, and so I can move around, but I'm just playing this animation with no
Yeah.
no logic at all. What's that?
Just jump.
Yeah. And see, I'm not pressing anything. It's just I just set that animation to just play on. Okay. So we want to start getting some actual logic going here. Who can guess what we're gonna need?
Logic.
Yes. So we'll need some logic in our event graph. What else will we need?
The animation.
We've got those.
The like start move or whatever the thing was last time.
Yep, we're gonna need that. We'll need that. Yep, you're all correct. We're gonna need a lot of stuff.
Sanity.
One of them being a blend space. So we got to create a blend space, but let's start simple. Okay, so let's start out real simple, and let's just switch between idle and run when I'm moving. How's that sound? Sound good? All right. Cool. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a little blueprint crash course for all of y'all. All right. So the first thing we'll need is gonna be so we'll go into our event graph, and we'll try to create this logic. So, do any of you know Blueprint at all? Anybody totally new to Blueprint? Yeah, new. You new to Blueprint? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Well, let's just dive in and stop me with questions. Okay. So I'm gonna make a Boolean. I'm gonna call it B is moving, and you just start it. That's just you don't have to name it starting with a lowercase b, but it's just like habit to do so. Okay. So is moving. What's the value of this? It's false, right? Or true. But we need it to be driven by our game logic. So how can we do that?
Set.
What's that?
If you have to set it in like your movement, don't you?
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna do, and we can look at, so we can cheat and we can look at the default animation blueprint to see how they have it set up, and that'll make it a lot easier for us. And I might have to do that because it's been a while since I've done this. But basically the idea is we need to pull a reference to our character, get a reference to his movement component, and then measure his movement velocity to determine if it's greater than or equal to a certain number. Like that's almost 0, right? And if it is greater than 0, then we'll set moving to true. If it's less than 0 or almost equal to 0, we'll set moving to false, okay? and then we'll just print that out, and so that's gonna be our goal for right now. I just want it to print true while I'm moving, and false when I'm not moving, okay? So that's our first little chunk of functionality. Okay, right, okay, so we have this get pawn owner, that's nice. So let's see, so this is going to be a reference to the thing that is owning this animation blueprint. Okay, so it should be our character. So we should be able to cast this to character. And if it is, then we'll get our reference, and then from here we can get our component. Okay. And then from here, we can get our velocity. Yeah, okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This doesn't go here. This goes down there. First of all, let's test. Let's validate all our assumptions. Let's not give the computer any chance to screw us over, because it will. We need to be very explicit, so his character is not character.
I got the confirmation that I needed with not a single word being said.
Okay.
The fact that I'm kind of understanding this,
Nope, I got the confirmation I needed with one simple look. I got the confirmation I needed.
Which was what?
Nothing.
That Ben understands everything I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Alright, so this is printing out is not character, so that's not good. Let's see what it does in game. Is character, okay. So that's funny. So, I wonder why it's false here and it's true in game. Oh, probably because there is no pawn owner in the editor.
You wanna explain?
Don't worry about it.
All the print stuff.
Okay, I'm validating my logic early and often so that I don't end up building up a whole crazy graph and then realize that like something's broken way at the beginning, and then I'm like, oh, it could be anywhere. I'll have this whole big thing to debug. I'm debugging as I go. Okay, so what I want to know, I need a reference to my character's movement component. So that I'm setting that as my goal. That's my first goal, and that's a small, achievable goal that I can prove in small steps. So I'm using these print strings to prove if what I think is happening is really happening. And when I know that I'm right, I can delete all these print statements. Okay? So first of all, what I'm doing is I'm using this try get pawn owner, which comes with the animation blueprint. And remember what this node grabs the owner of the animation blueprint. You remember when we added the animation blueprint in here? So this node, this try get pawn owner, this references the third person character. Right? Make sense? But I wanted to be sure that it referenced the third person character, so I'm using a cast to character, and I'm printing is character or is not character based on if the cast succeeds or fails. If this cast fails, then I'm not gonna get the movement component. This will return null if the character is invalid, right? But if this succeeds, this will return a reference to the movement component, which is where I can get the velocity, which is the information that I need. Does that make sense? You can say no.
It halfway makes sense.
he's basically making sure everything is correct before he finishes, so
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't fuck it up.
Go back to the event graph. So the two that are on the left, that's like, we need that.
Oh yeah, let me explain this. Yeah. So this is an event node. Okay, so this fires when something happens. In a blueprint, you've got tons of events. All these red nodes are events. Event begin play. When do you think event begin play fires?
When you think.
Yeah, when the game starts. When do you think enhanced input action IA move fires? When you press the move, when you press any of the move keys. So all this logic runs when the player presses a movement key, and what does it do? It adds movement input to the pawn, right? This is how the pawn moves around. If I disconnect this, right? If I take this, if I disconnect that event, what'll happen when I try to play the game?
You can't move.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be stuck. I can look around, but see, I'm pressing W and I can't move.
Can you jump?
Yes, I can. Because I didn't disconnect the input action jump. So that's events. Are any of you computer science students? It's like any like programming or like Python or anything like that? No? It's like a function. Okay, won't
I
make
mean, I
sense.
took your
My blueprint.
Yeah.
Science, yeah.
I don't know if he's asking.
So the
us.
easiest way for you to understand this is everything I've already taught you.
Yeah.
Events in Blueprint are just like events in Blueprint.
Yeah.
Okay. For everybody else, I'm trying to find analogies that make sense.
So go back to like the original. Like the one that we're working on right now. Wait, connect it. Okay. So the red one is the event, the move one.
This is this is event blueprint update animation.
So that's something that's gonna tell you like, okay, put this to that animation. Or
Yes.
okay, and then what's the green one?
This one?
Yeah.
This is try get pawn owner. So this is not an event.
Mm-hmm. Wait, it's not red.
Okay, well it's not obvious, but yeah. So like events have these white arrows. Events are red. That's the easiest thing. This is not even a flow node though. This is a variable.
So what does that mean?
That means it doesn't have execution flow. It doesn't have arrows. It just has a property. So this blue pin is a variable. If I make if I get this is a variable. This is a Boolean variable, which will return true or false depending on what the code is doing while the game runs. Right? So this is a variable of type pawn, and it's going to return a reference to my active pawn, or it might return null if for whatever reason the active pawn is invalid, right? So this is a reference to my pawn.
So the green one's like what? To the actual character itself?
Yeah, it's a reference.
To
It's
the
a
character.
to the character.
And then the red one's a reference to the animation.
Yeah, sorta. The red
Well,
one.
yeah.
The red one is. This is an event that fires every time the animation updates,
Yeah.
which is every frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the blue one is to cast it.
Yes. So a cast is when you take an object type and you basically verify if it is something. So like I've got an actor that's pizza, and I've got a script on it, and I run cast pizza. It'll return true. If I run that same script on, a water bottle and I cast it to pizza, it'll return false. Right?
So then the blue one's on the right, the like printing, it's like if it's, well, there's two different ones. It's like one that's like if it's right and then one if it's wrong.
Yes.
Is it like basically saying like if it's right, say that it's right, if it's wrong, say that it's wrong?
Yep.
Is that what the red stuff on the side is saying? Like
Yes.
the little red?
Yes, exactly.
So right now it's going to the one that's like wrong because something's wrong?
Yes, but don't worry about that, because when I
Well,
run
yeah.
the game, it's correct. Oh, that's interesting. It's firing both because I have the animation editor open, and in the animation editor it has no parent, so it's like.
And then what's the green one on the left or the right? The
This
bottom.
one?
Yeah.
This is the movement component of the
Oh.
character. So this is a reference
I got it.
to this.
I got it. I'm getting it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So much
Good.
happens when you're not like 50 feet back there.
Yeah. You need glasses, or I need a bigger TV.
One of those opera. Like,
Yeah, a monocle.
no, like the little binoculars that are on the stick.
Opera glasses, yeah.
One of those things that
That'd be
like,
very classy.
projects into everyone's screen.
I was actually looking at setting that up.
Yeah, that would be
I
cool.
could make that happen. It would just take a little time, and I'd have to type many passwords. Yeah, I'll do that actually if y'all would prefer. That way you could all just like sit.
Because that's always been something that's like going.
At that point, I might as well just like do it at home though, and like just stream from YouTube, and I'll just like watch from your dorms.
And then that's the videos.
Yeah.
Go to Zoom.
Yeah,
So you know
exactly.
glasses. But it makes sense now.
Okay, isn't that amazing what happens when you ask a lot of questions? Great job. I'm proud of you. Good. Everybody else, you should be more like Adelie's and ask more
Right.
questions.
My ego's just been. Is it the ego? Is it the word? Okay.
Yeah.
Just expand.
It should be. It should be. You asked good questions. Who else has good questions? Just Adelie's?
I know. I know.
All right. I'll make somebody else ask a question before this is over. Okay, so we all get what's going on now. Awesome. So this is our movement component. Okay. This is so much fun. You guys are gonna learn so much. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna teach you something else new now about blueprints. So, this is our movement component. Okay, I'm gonna teach you two new things. I need, what do they even call it in here? Okay, it's called event begin play. Remember how we were talking about begin play and update animation? When does this event fire?
Every frame
Every frame. When does this event fire?
at the beginning of
Which one is gonna cost more in terms of computer performance?
every frame.
Yeah, exactly. This is an expensive calculation. It happens often. So casts are a heavy computation. We don't want to call them every frame. So we can call it up here instead. And this way it just runs once. Okay? But we need to be checking this value every frame. So how can we do that efficiently? Well, we can create a reference to this. So, and we'll do that by making a variable. So you see this pin? This is the movement component reference of our player character. If I could right click it and say promote to variable, it'll create, you see down here, this new var, it just created a variable of type pawn movement component. I can call this movement component ref. Okay. Now we've got a reference to this component. What can we do with it? We can do whatever we want with it, whenever we want. So we've got a reference to it now, okay? So we just did our heavy lifting of checking it and caching it to a variable, and now here we're gonna pull it. So here I wanna call the get velocity function of this component. Okay, following? No, okay.
You lost me.
Where should I go back
I don't know.
to?
Do that all over.
Do that all, okay.
Well, how did you fix it? Like it was wrong at first.
So I connected this to begin play, and I'm just gonna grab a variable of type movement component.
Can you like tell us what each node does
Yes.
in turn?
Yes,
Like,
okay.
what do all the strings mean? Like where are the strings going?
Okay, I'll tell you. So, begin play. This is gonna fire once the game starts. Okay, that's what this node does. And that's all that it does. You fully understand event begin play. Okay, cast to character. Well, okay, try get pawn owner. This tries to get the pawn owner. Like it tries to get the actor or the pawn that owns our self. Our self being the animation blueprint test animation blueprint. Right? Make sense? Does that not make sense? No. Okay. Do you remember we made an animation blueprint in here? This is great, guys. You're all gonna get it.
Oh my god.
This is awesome.
Does every year does this happen? Like every year is it this bad?
It's always this bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially because, like, I mean, I'm being unfair to you guys because you haven't had any blueprinting or scripting or anything, and this isn't even blueprint class, but I thought it would be fun.
I'm still confused. What happened to the other thing we did?
What do you mean? What other thing?
Like the one where it was like you were testing to make sure like the movement works.
Oh, I just deleted that because I know now. I don't need
But how'd
it
you fix it?
What do you mean? I didn't fix anything. It was working.
Yeah, it was working to begin with.
The idea is that you have a print statement follow logic. So like, hey, this is working. Hey, this is working. Hey, this is working. If it ever gets to a point where it says it goes down a different path that says, hey, this is not working.
You
That's
say
what
it?
debugging is. So you just have random print statements at like any point that tells you when it goes down a string, it's like, no, we're no longer on this
So it was
string.
working.
Yeah, it was telling me what I expected it
Oh.
to tell me.
So
Yeah.
it was saying it's working?
It was
It-
saying, yes, it was saying it's working.
Okay. But like, did you keep that? Or like every so often you're just gonna make the print thing?
I'm just gonna make prints every time I'm not sure what's happening
Oh.
to gather information about what my code is doing, and then when I know what it's doing, I can delete those prints.
So now you made a new one? Like a new like graph? Or
I don't have
whatever?
any prints now. I deleted all my prints.
No, but you just made something new. That.
This is the same blueprint. Yeah, this is the same thing that had the prints in it.
Oh,
I
you
just
just
deleted the
deleted.
prints. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
that's
you
all.
just added new stuff.
I didn't add anything. Well, yeah, I added the movement component reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So basically what this code is doing is that when the game runs, we're getting the actor that owns our animation blueprint, which is our player pawn. We're checking to make sure it's a character. Because like it could be possible for this blueprint to be referenced on something that's not a character, right? It could be attached to like some random thing that doesn't have character functionality, and then none of this logic is gonna work, right? And so in that case, it's gonna go down the cast failed path, which doesn't do anything, which is what we want. You know, if this blueprint is for some reason being run by something that's not a character, I don't want to try to get the character's movement velocity, because it's not going to have movement velocity because it's not a character, right? But in our case, we are a character. So we are going to have movement velocity, which is what we're trying to get. Okay, so we've got our movement component, and now we want to get the velocity. But we want to get the velocity every frame, not just at the beginning. We want to get it every frame. So we're going to go here to our update animation. We're going to call our movement component, and we're going to get velocity. And now this is going to return a vector of our velocity. So if I'm standing still, it's going to be 0. If I'm moving along the z-axis, it'll be 0, 0, 100. If I'm moving along the x-axis, it'll be 100, 0, 0, right? Based on which direction I'm moving in and how fast. It doesn't really matter though which direction I'm going in, because I want to just play my running animation if I'm moving or not. So I'm going to use another function called get vector length. Yeah, it's called vector length. And I'll explain all this in a little more detail in a minute, but I need to check if it's greater than, let's say, 10. And this is going to return a variable, a Boolean variable. All right. So this code? Yeah, I'm getting my movement vector. I'm checking its length, and if it's greater than 10, I'm returning true. If it's less than 10, I'm going to return false. Right? So I can set v is moving to the output of that variable. And now, because we want to be thorough, I want to print the results of v is moving. All right. All right. So it says false. You might not be able to read that, but it's up there in the corner. It says false. I start moving. Oh my gosh, it says true. I stopped moving, and now it says false. Hey, yeah. How about a round of applause? It's doing what I thought it would. Okay. So you get where I'm going with this?
I think when you say it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But then like you doing it like all like fast, it's like, what is he doing? But then it's like, no, I know what he's doing. Like I got the like when you like say like, oh, we're gonna make like it's a Boolean, and I'm like, what does that mean? And
It
then
means
they're
yes
like,
or no.
Okay.
It means true or false.
Okay. Is that?
I
so
should have
then-
explained that.
So it's the true or false. So Boolean is true or false, and you added a print that's like directed to the true or false.
Yes.
So the print's gonna be like true or false.
Yes.
I think what it is everything you're saying makes sense in terms of like how to put this together, but it's like the tools you're using. So like we're hearing you talk and be like, oh yeah, if this is true, then this makes sense.
Yeah.
But then you're using 4 different nodes that we don't
Yeah.
know what they do.
Okay. Good.
And I don't know, like, like you're like when you're like okay, like we need to do this, so like let's make like a print setting or whatever, or like we need the boolean or whatever. But like I also don't know how you get it. Like where are you getting it from?
Oh.
Yes, that's it. Where you get that.
But it's
Where
like,
did
oh,
I
I mean,
get
it makes
it?
sense that you need one.
Where did I get what from?
All of it.
Where did I? Okay, well let's start here. Movement component ref.
Like how do you make that pop up on your screen?
How do you
You
put them
just
in?
right click any blank space.
So yeah, you can right click anywhere
Okay,
and you
and
get
then
this
there.
pop up menu.
So it's like how do you? So as someone who's never blueprinted, how would I just be like, I need to make a boolean? What do I need to type in there to get a boolean?
Okay, to get a boolean, you
Or
come
like
over
in
here into
general.
variables
Uh-huh.
and you click the plus sign to make a new variable.
So boolean is what? Oh, okay. You like drop down. It's like a drop down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so boolean's the default variable type. If you need a different one, you click this drop down, and these are all the different types of variables you can have in Unreal. There's a lot of them, but the important ones are boolean, float, vector, rotator, transform.
Integer is also one.
So
yeah,
like,
but integers, just a float, no decimal
so
point.
you see like the blue
Yeah.
little bar in the graph or whatever.
This?
Yeah. So like, say it was like by itself, right? And then you click on the little arrow and you pull out the string, and then it gives you like a drop down of like a bunch of things, and you type in like what you need, and then it pops up.
Uh-huh.
How do you know what you need to type out?
Oh, I've watched a lot of YouTube
Oh my
videos.
It does all the time. It won't show you something you can't use
Unless you
unless you filter it to where it does. But
Yes, that is that confused me for a long time. But yeah, so if you just right click in here,
Yeah. You
it'll
grab
tell
some.
you every single thing throughout the entire Unreal Engine that's exposed to Blueprint. So like widget, right? There's this is user interface stuff, window title bar, like every single meta sounds, right?
Just
Like
everything unfiltered.
everything that's in Unreal Engine, every single data type is available when you right click
So
on it.
it's just like with experience, it would just be like, oh, I need this.
Yes.
Oh.
And also, what Alexis was saying is when you drag off of a variable and let go, this list is much shorter. You see how much shorter it is? That's because, you see it tells you right here too, actions taking upon movement component object reference. So it's only giving me things that accept upon movement component as an argument. Yeah. So like let's say, let me show you. Like let me get a audio capture that doesn't accept any arguments. Let me find something good. I don't know. Is audio bus active? There we go. This takes an audio bus. I don't even know what this node does. I just picked it at random. But it takes an audio bus component, okay? What'll happen if I try to connect my pawn movement to the audio bus?
Will it not do?
It won't let me. See, it says pawn movement component object reference is not compatible with audio bus object reference.
It's like trying to put a circle on a triangle.
Yeah, exactly. And if it did let me connect this, then the editor would just crash when this code loads. Because it would be like, that's not what I need. You know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So velocity, this does accept a pawn movement component, so it lets me connect it. So also when I drag, so like if I click in here, can I type velocity? I'm getting like everything that's remotely velocity. Set float spring velocity, right? Like, but I can't use that. Like, this isn't designed to take this as an argument, but this is. So see, it lets me connect that because they're compatible. All right, so that's what that is. So this is our movement component, which we get through this process up here. And then we get our velocity, which returns a vector 3, okay? Which is, just 3 numbers. And then we run the vector length function of that, which gives us the length of the vector. So it'll return like the largest value. So if it's moving like kind of diagonally forward and left, it'll return like, kind of the sum of both of those vectors as length, right? So this is how fast the object is moving. You had your hand up.
I didn't. I was
Wait.
sure.
Oh,
So the blue one, the
The
person,
movement component?
yeah, the movement. So like if you know the stuff up top, if you don't have that, like let's say you didn't make that, would that not work?
It wouldn't
You wouldn't
sell
have
it.
to.
Yes.
It would have no data to.
Right, so it would
reference.
just like not do anything?
It'll return null.
Uh,
Yeah, it'll return a null object. So the velocity will be 0. So the vector length will be 0. So this will return false all the time.
Always.
Yeah, and let's check. Actually, it just won't run at all because I disconnected it completely. Oh, and we get a lot of errors.
Okay, so yeah, makes sense. So you need to make that first.
Yes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Coding is a lot. And
If you guys, I do want you guys to take a crack at this, but if you just like are really, really struggling, I mean, I'll just like give you this file because I mean, this isn't really like programming class. This is, you know, animation and rigging class.
I feel like in the future, if you're gonna take this approach with the class, game switching should be a prerequisite.
Probably. This is basic though. You guys can get this. I have faith in you all.
Yeah.
Even if I just gotta like go around to each one of you, just, you know, go one at a time. You'll get it.
It makes sense when you say it.
Yeah.
When you do it, it's like,
That's
but
code-
you gotta
that's
like.
code in general. It's code is like, I know that I need it to do this. Like,
Now the good news is we're basically like this. We're almost done with this, and this really could be like all the code you need for a game where somebody just walks around. You know, like once you have this done, like you can make any custom character walk around with any animations you can make. So this is a really like high value, like little.
It's a Swiss Army knife. It can do anything.
Yeah, and if you don't really understand what it's doing completely, it, like that isn't gonna like stop you from being able to like reuse it and like apply it to other characters with other animations and things like that. So I think it's valuable to have this.
I was gonna ask, so you have to duplicate it for every character that is gonna do this?
Yes. Yeah, basically you make if they have separate skeletons. If they all have the same skeleton, then you can reuse this and just swap out their skeletal mesh. But if they're gonna have different skeletons, like if somebody's got a tail or wings or 4 legs or something, then you'd have to like redo.
Would height
this.
matter?
No, height wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, unless like, yeah, the height should be okay.
Because I was thinking, like, would the skeleton of like a 7'2" character versus like
Yeah,
a
that'd be
2'1" be the same?
It'd be close enough.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, yeah, we're done with our code.
You just deleted the print.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
because it's
'cause
just,
I don't
it's
need
just
it.
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
to see
I
if
don't
it
need it.
works.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So now we know this variable. Let me delete this. I'm not using it. This B is moving, is true while we're moving, and it's false when we're not. Okay. You can forget about all of that if you would like. And now we will get into the animation graph. This part should be a little easier. All right. How does this work? We need to make a new state.
So basically, all of what we just did test to see if you're trying to move.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm having a. How do I make a new state? Oh, state machine. That's what it's called. There we go. Okay. We'll call this idle run, and this will be our state. Okay. So this is a state machine. Pi. There's nothing in here. So let's make a simple one. We can just connect idle. So we just made a basic state idle. We're gonna just connect entry to idle. Boom. Okay, we're halfway there. Does that make enough sense? We've just got this little state and it's just idle. You come into it, it's just the idle sequence, looping, just going straight to the output. Okay, it's not enough though because we need to be able to run. So we're gonna create run forward, idle, run forward state, loop. Okay, now if I connect this, I run the game. See, now we're always running, whether we're moving or not. Does this make make sense so far? Okay, so we have all the pieces that we need. Now we just need to drive them. How are we going to do that? Any guesses?
Use what we just made.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to create transitions between the idle and the run. And we'll connect the entry to the idle. Okay. So
That
now,
entry.
It's like
That
when it
entry is like
starts.
at the start of this scene.
So it starts at idle.
yes, it's going to start at idle. And then when this condition is true, it's going to go to run. When this condition is true, it'll go back to idle. Okay, let's come in here. Can enter transition is moving. True. So what'll happen now?
Just
To that transition.
Yep.
But it
So,
won't be able to go back.
exactly. Yep. So I'm standing still. I start moving. Oh my gosh! And I stop. Oh no! I'm still moving. So that's easy to fix. We just need to add a transition here. Okay.
That's where the not comes in.
You remember the not? Yeah. So is moving.
Jesus Christ, they have to have it so loud.
At least we don't smell popcorn
Is the
anymore.
name of that node just Boolean not?
It's
Yeah, like
it's
we-
Boolean not.
Okay.
And so when you drag off of a Boolean, it's going to be like one of the few nodes that's available because it takes a Boolean as an argument. All right. So now when I run,
Oh my God, is he gonna stop?
oh,
No way! Whoa! What?
damn, we made a game.
It's the long walk.
Yeah.
Post it.
What's that?
Publish it on Steam.
Yeah.
Spend $100. Post it to Steam.
Worth it.
How do you jump?
Well, I can't jump.
Okay.
Well, I can, but I won't have any animation.
I had a question. If you wanted to add the jump animation, would you have it so that when the Y height changes, that's when the jump animation plays?
Yeah. And if you look at the default one, this one's a little complicated to be honest.
Oh, oops, that's
Yeah, so see we've got so it's got this locomotion state, which is the same thing we just did, the idle to the walk run, right? So we just did this. But then it also has this stuff. So it's got a jump, a falling loop, and then these different like transitions. So it's got an animation for landing, so when you hit the ground you kind of like, do that. So yeah, you can kind of dig through this. I'd have to kind of dig through it myself to really explain what it's doing. The part this has that ours doesn't have is these transition nodes. We haven't used any of these, but they're useful. I could tell you how they worked if I spent a while digging through it. But yeah,
So you just can't jump?
not yet.
Also, this is kind of a silly question, but what keys are you pressing and what buttons are you clicking to switch between all these things that you're switching between?
Most things you just double click on them. So like, you mean like to go like between the different like editors?
And between like the game and the where it like gives the outputs and
The
back to
graphs?
this and stuff.
I'm just clicking the tabs.
Okay.
So I'm in the blueprint tab. I'll click here to go here. If I want to go into this state machine, I double click it. If I want to go into this state, I double click that. When I want to go back to the game, I click up here. When I want to run the game, I click the play button. I play the game with WASD like any PC shooter. And then if I want to get out, I press escape and it stops and throws an
That's what I was talking
error.
about. So that just comes up automatically?
Yeah, this is because I'm doing something wrong. Blueprint runtime error, access none, trying to read property, movement component ref, set B is moving. So what's likely happening here is the first frame of the game, this is null because the player hasn't spawned yet, right? So for one frame, this is returning null and throwing an error. I can fix that by just converting this to a validated get and only checking this variable if we are valid. There we go, that suppressed that error. Yeah, any variable, you can just right click it and convert to validated. Very handy. Any questions?
Should we done?
That's it. Yeah, I mean, you know everything about animation blueprints now. That's an easy one. I'll show you. Okay, so I've got my test ANIM. Okay, there's one more thing we're gonna have to do in here. We gotta come into our ANIM graph, and there's just one important thing. We need to create a slot. I'm gonna cheat and look at this. Slot default. I'm just gonna copy that. So we put that in there. Then we need to take our animation and convert it to a montage. Create anim montage. Come in here and you give it a slot, and it has default slot by default. Save that. Come in here. Yep, that should all be right. And now we'll need a little bit of extra logic. So let's come into our blueprint and get keyboard key E or something. E, and we need our mesh, play montage, rest, we get our montage to play, boom. Now when I press the E key, I should play that animation. Yeah! And then he goes back. Yes.
If you close one of the top windows, how do you get it back?
Which one?
I closed the animation. Is it the animation?
The animation
sequence?
blueprint?
Yeah, that one.
What do you mean you
I closed it. Like I hit X, it's gone now. Yeah, I only have the event graph. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
So I do that all the time, and I'm just like, well, time to reopen the whole program.
It's in here somewhere. Load layout. Default editor layout. Ooh.
Just,
Where'd my thing go? There we go. That did it.
what's that? Reload.
It was under window.
Load layout, default layout.
Load
Okay.
layout. Yeah. All right. So this slot, you just need that. If it's not there. So yeah, let me break down the stuff I did, because I did a lot of stuff there. So I added that slot because without it, if I press E, it just won't do it. So this is there to basically tell it. This is just there to tell it animations that are tagged with this slot, play them here. You can use different slots for different things. Like you can have an upper body slot. So like say you've got, like 4 different like weapon aiming animations, but you want to use the same run animation with like, holding a pistol, holding a rifle, holding a melee weapon. You can reuse the same running animation and just play those upper body animations in the upper body slot. It'll blend them together. Yeah. So that's handy. And then the default slot just plays on the whole mesh. So that's what we want for this. But like, yeah, like say, say I keep moving, right? It's kind of weird. Like maybe I shouldn't be able to do this. Maybe my legs should be playing
That's the one that's like upper body.
this is the full slot. I just applied it to everything. But like, if I were to put it on just upper body, then that would make my legs be still moving.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do that actually. And then this node, it's just a blueprint node. It's just called play montage. It accepts a skeletal mesh and a montage as arguments. Oh, and it's got a play rate, so I can make it go super fast. Yeah.
watch me disintegrate into the fabric of reality.
We're having fun now. Alright, sorry. I couldn't control myself. Alright, where were we? Right, I was gonna see if I could make that work on the upper body slot. Open that up. Slot name. Okay, so there is, okay, I have to make a new one. Okay, you know what, I don't remember how to do this. I'd have to look it up. But basically, you make a new slot and you tell it like from what part of the skeleton you want it to affect. And yeah, it's out there on the internet. Does all the basics make sense? So. Well, what doesn't make sense? We got time. We got another hour if you want.
I missed the part that you added in between the yeah, go back one. Oh, no, that's just that. Is that?
Default slot. Huh?
It says slot, default slot.
Yeah.
And but like, you have to make the slot too.
How did you make the slot on it?
It just exists.
You didn't have to click the button or anything?
Well, in the montage, the default slot is on by default, so I didn't have to do anything. But if it were a separate one,
You had to make that animation in the montage too.
yes.
Do that again.
That's easy. You just right-click your ANIM and say Create ANIM Montage. And an ANIM montage is basically like it can be like multiple animations. So like you can put like multiple animations together in one. Yeah.
I just like made something a lot easier.
Nice.